I have restarted the recording, so you're good to go.
All right, so I'm going to turn off my video in just a few seconds, but right now is the only time you're going to see my video. I just want to make sure you know who I am. So here we go. Good morning and good afternoon, and depends on where you are. Thank you for joining, and thank you for the QM inviting me to this to representing our institution and our team to share some of our work with you today. And for those of my friends from the Midwest, please keep warm. I used to come from Midwest and now in California. I don't miss that at all. My name is Roger Wen, and all my work has been involved with the online learning, probably since the Blackboard launched their platform, and as part of my doctoral study and dissertation a couple decades ago. So currently, I started my 6th year at the Cal State East Bay, and serving as the founding director for the online campus. And just this year, I have been asked to I have the oversight responsibility for our Master of Science program in online teaching and learning, which we call Master in E-Learning. Cal State system have a long history in quality assurance in online learning. And East Bay offers the first online program probably about 20 years ago. Cal State East Bay started heavily involved with the quality matters since 2014. And today, almost 5 years later, anniversary, we're honored to be here to share with our work and certain aspect of our achievement. So today's topic is really centered specifically about the data and analysis for the quality matters impact to the students' learning. And I would say it's still a field that carries a lot of pressure because the delivery of the course is online. It is reasonable that you have the pressure from various directions looking into the effectiveness of the practice. So today I want to focus on the quality assurance for the course and curriculum design and its impact to the students' learning. There's a lot of the byproduct come out after our analysis, after our study. So there's also, I also want to mention that this is just a start, and our presentation is just our takes on how we as the CHU East Bay started our journey. And before going any further, there's a lot of things I think is the background information I need to provide. Because our situation might be different than your situation or institution, and certain part of the structure might be applied to your environment and the impact on how to conduct our research or your research. And CSU East Bay is part of the 23 campuses in the California State University system. And we have about 15,000 FTE, and we're north of the Silicon Valley. And California, it's a union state. Faculty has autonomy on how they want to set up their own course, and their policy governing a lot of the academic processes and procedures. And online campus, our department, my department, we're here just to provide an infrastructure, system, and design the support services to the faculty members and encourage the best practices. And I'll be happy to entertain any question at the end and then try to answer the best I can. So the first part is about the policy. Regarding the shared governance, this is really, we have a policy for online hybrid instruction where faculty send a detail, all the definitions, assessment, learning outcomes, and the different terms. And let me see if I can bring this over to share with you. There's a link on the PowerPoint, so whenever it's shared, I'm sure you can click on the link and take you to this document. So it will have the definition of the online hybrid instruction. It will also have the student support and information that we need to provide as the institution. And there's also a faculty support, the faculty's rights and responsibility. And that's very generic, and then but also give us the foundation as far as what we need to do as the department to support. So based on the policy, here's probably how we support our institution. right in the middle is all the different services that we provide, but on the top is showing that we provide the services to the campus-wide colleges or university extensions. And right in the middle, I want to emphasize the course design because um, uh, the curriculum has been proven having a good curriculum design is really proven to make a significant difference on students' learning. And it's a big part of what we're doing as online campus. And we take that really very seriously. And when it comes to the course design and curriculum design, and the designers are really the success of all of our work. Next one. So start getting to how we're getting those data that later I'm going to share with you. I think one of the other aspects I want to share is that about when I first arrived at CSU East Bay about 5 years ago, I was trying to determine what works for our particular environments. And I want to conduct some of the interview with some of the faculty members. And the end product of that environmental scan is to establish what we call the online hybrid quality transformation grant. And usually there are components within our transformation grants. And generally, usually the first one is to provide the training. So the faculty sign up for the first grant component, which means the student faculty member have to take the APPQMR, apply Quality Matters rubric, or the IYOC, Improve Your Online Course training. And then after they have the training, then they will start doing the redesign of their course. And then 50%, if they meet the 50% of the standard, that's the first step. And then when they finish the course design, submit it for the QM for the review, that's the second step. So every deliverable comes with the incentives, and depends on how much fundings that we receive from the chancellor's office or the provost's office. The level of the incentives varies every year. And we're very fortunate that our provost's office has been a huge, strong supporter to our effort. And this is what we have accomplished today, and basically the data points. When doing some of the study, it's important to have enough sample size, right? And so the first year we focused very heavily on the training and collaboration with the office faculty development. We provide this workshop, we provide information session, we provide a summer institute, in even sending our e-learning specialists, or what a lot of people call instructional designers, to the advanced workshop and become a facilitator to the various topics. And so today, we have 133 certified courses on our campus. Probably more than 70% of the whole California State University system, which is composed 23 universities together. 70% of the CSU system certified courses are produced by the CSU East Bay, our campus. And today there are more than 600 workshop participants that participated in various different workshops, like APPQMR, IYOC, or peer previewer, or master reviewer, so on and so forth. Now, our team also developed our very own instructional design system for online learning after reflecting our work and study other design models and system out there. And I think that is also the baseline for our success model. And when you have more time, when you get the recording, you might want to take a look and give us some feedback as well, because I think you will find a very interesting how we actually, this is the website we put on the website. And so you will see the complete white paper study, and feel free to send us any feedback if you have any. And so a lot of time when we do the study, always people asking what is the problem statement, and I think our initial thought about that is about the faculty participation in the quality assurance activities and its impact on students' learning by reducing the percentage of the repeatable grades in courses. And specifically, the repeatable grades we're referring to is grades D and F or W. And of course, this is going to be very focused because right from the beginning, the data point, we really want to make sure that we start out with some quantitative data and quantitative analysis. So a lot of times when I present in the data, the analysis, a lot of times the participant will always ask me, what's your data look like? Can you share what data you're using? And so here I'm going to actually share with you what the data we're using. So for this data set is composed of, is including 3 years worth of the data from 2014 to 17. And total, there are, I don't want to scroll down, but it's hurting your eyes, but total together, we have about 4452 different courses, class sections, and all the online and hybrid courses by term, and the column B is by the program, is online or hybrid program, and then we code it. And then we also have the subject key is which subject area, like social work, library, or social science, so on and so forth. And we work very closely with our institutional research to get this information. And when we receive the data, we have to actually recode the data. I have to go in and recode the data. For example, the column E is the course number. I have to actually change that so everything is non-identifiable. We also have the column F, which is the length of the course, and then total number of the student, which is the G, and number of the grades, A's and B, C, D, and F and W, and column P is the students count for the GPA's total number of students, and then the class GPA is column Q, and then first generation students GPA. We also have the information column S. And I want to mention about this piece right here is because we have the data for first generation, and we also have the data for underrepresented minority, and we also have the information for the Pell Grant and the student need remediation, which is the column X and Y. And column Z is the student instructor ID. This is one of the items I have to go in individual faculty members and then assign the ID number, because I have to know what kind of the workshop they attend, so on and so forth. We also have the information from column A, B, A, C, A, D, so on and so forth, are the type of the workshop they attend. For example, 101, I believe, is the APPQMR, so on and so forth. And we also sending a faculty member to the OLC workshop and our own summer institute, so on and so forth. So we code all those different workshops into different numbers. And one of the numbers is also the faculty, whether or not that course has been certified. So that's the data, what the data we have to work with, and it's the data we use to do some of our analysis. So after we went through 1 year of our OHQT Online Hybrid Transformation Grant funding cycle, and so I told myself that it's important to know if we can prove that it is working, right? And because if it's not working, then why are we spending the dollar and the money funding for that effort? And as we mentioned, that online delivery has been always put into the microscope and examine everything we're doing. So that's part of the reason that I want to actually go ahead and do the initial analysis. So the first one is departmental analysis by the Office of Online Campus. So I remember 1 year we went to the Quality Matters conference talking about our online hybrid transformation grant, quality transformation grant process. And one of the audience was asking me the results, and at the time, we can only offer the faculty survey results, which is very anecdotal, is really not something that is significant difference or something we can prove. So working with the institutional research, and we get the first of our 14-15 year data and part of the 15-16 data. we're showing some exciting results, and this is where you can see on the screen that percentage of the repeatable grades on the courses taught by the faculty member who participate in the quality assurance activity actually is significantly lower than the courses taught by the faculty without participating in the quality assurance activity. So we're excited. So we kind of bring this result to our chancellor's office. And then after that, we started system-wide, student quality assurance impact research study initiative. So every year, chancellor's office put out the call for proposal and started 15, 16 call for proposal. One of the items that's been added to the call for proposal is the campus activity on doing the research for quality assurance, especially the impact for students' learning. And I'm thankful that Chancellor's Office taking this on and making us the system-wide initiative. And so with that Chancellor's Office call for proposal adding the item for the institutions to add specific study to the students' impact to the students' learning, our very first 1617 faculty research associate is Dr. Eric Kong, and he has a lot of courses certified by the Quality Matters, and he also been trained as the peer reviewer and also certified as the facilitator. And so his study is our first faculty research associate analysis, and his study is using the 1617 data for the analysis. And there are a total of about 233 unique instructor teaching online at that time, and there are 3 main points for his study that actually align with our institution's efforts on meeting the diverse students' need. And CSU East Bay, I would say, is one of the most diverse campus in the continental USA. Most of our students are commuters or have multiple jobs, or a lot of minority students, first-generation students, underrepresented minority students. And so Dr. Khan's study, those 3 points are the underrepresented minority student has significant lower percentage of the repeatable grades in the QM certified courses versus non-certified courses, which is great, right? And also for the Pell Grant eligible students, it's showing the same results, has the lower percentage of the repeatable grades in the QM certified courses. Now, student needs the remediation also have the lower percentage in the QM certified courses versus non-certified courses. Now, this is something that I think I would, if you can, kind of remember about the lowering the repeatable grade, because later on there's another study. The next year is our, Dr. Shirley Yap is our second faculty research associate. For our 17-18 years faculty research associate. And she's using the 17-18 years data. And one of the interesting results to point out, other than reconfirming Dr. Khan's study for the underrepresented minority Pell Grant or remedial students learning, one of the things is that the grades
I think we might have lost Roger. Are you guys still hearing me? I still see his screen. All right. I will see if we can get him back. Oops. I think he might have been kicked out, so which would mean he will be logging back in, and I'll promote him back to a presenter in a second. And you guys can probably still hear me, which it says you do. So if I had some music to play, I would play that while we wait. I'm looking for him to log back in. Sorry about that. I wonder if he knows that he has been kicked out. The worst is if he just kept going. I think he'll be back, though. Oh, let me see if he is there. Someone just dinged.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He's back. All right. Thanks, Roger. Well, you
I'm so
guys, I'm glad you're back.
So maybe it's purposely designed to take a break, I guess. I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't know what happened. I have hardwire and wireless both on my computer, so I guess there's a conflict between the wire and wireless. But again, I'm sorry. So to continue, hopefully you can see it, is our second faculty research associate is Dr. Shirley Yap. So one of the interesting result is about the grades A, and let me see if there's a chat going on. Okay, so it's about the grades A's being received. So one of the implication that was suggested is that the quality matters training or participation might have helped with tackling the grades inflation issues, and this is something we see very personally. I think it's exciting, combining with the results about the lowering the grades, repeatable grades DFW, because overall that actually helps to make the grade distribution it's not totally a bell curve, but at least is in a way towards to that direction. The next one is really after we have running the Quality Matters Transformation Grant for 3 years. And so I was interested to know over the long-term impacts for 3 years, whether or not has still have the same results. Because we did the initial study, and then Dr. Khan did a study, and then Dr. Shirley Yap did another study. So total 3 years now. So we actually run the 3 year studies between summer 2014 and summer 2017, and it's the similar data set. Previous data set that you've seen before is very similar. And we still have the similar results that between the summer and 14 and summer 2017, the repeatable grades on the online courses taught by the faculty who participated in the quality assurance activities is significantly lower than the courses taught by the faculty without the participation quality assurance activity. So we're still very excited about the results. So after that, we kind of changed the gear a little bit. So for the 1819, for the Chancellor's Office call for proposal, we write into the proposal response to the proposal that we want to do a qualitative, because the quantitative we kind of did it already 3 years, and then we decided this is the time that we actually look into a little bit more detail as far as the factors, variables, so on and so forth. So Dr. Kevin Kaatz is our third faculty research associate for the initiative, and he's really just have one question. The question is actually listed on the slide that you can see, is how has our quality assurance training, either through the Quality Matters or Quote or Online Learning Consortium, help with your course design in the following areas, like the preparation, design, teaching, and students learning. And we ask the faculty member to be more specific and provide example. So it's not a survey, it's really the faculty just write it up in the email and response back. And here's the results. So there's different categories. So what he has done is that has all those different feedback coming back from the faculty members, and he did the dimensional analysis, the content analysis. And so different category comes out. The first one is about the course organization. So for the course organization, this is something that is um, it's the major focus when our e-learning specialists are providing during the workshop, and they really think this is really very helpful during the training, that is one of the most significant takeaway for our faculty members. And the second one is the alignments. And most of the faculty member who teach has the general understanding about the course design in a way, but really sometimes they're confusing about the alignment between the assignments and assessment or activities. So the quality, they mentioned about the quality assurance training actually help them to resolve those kind of questions. So which is really great. The next one is about the accessibility. And so this is one of the most popular categories that faculty find it very helpful for the quality assurance. They can create an accessible course, and they understand that now it's accessible for all students, not just the student need accommodation. And also because part of this uh, response from a lot of faculty member about accessibility, we actually end up purchasing a tool called Ally that is integrated with our learning management system. And so when the faculty upload the documents, that the tool Ally actually will try to convert into various different format like HTML or MP3 or I think it's the beelining by different colors or Braille for the student who are blind. And so the other one is the use of other rubrics. After they went through the training, they think they feel comfortable to use other different rubrics to understand the criteria, understand the performance indicators. And they also, the other category is they really think it's important that they have the support from the e-learning specialist or instructional designers. And then for the students' benefit, is also in other areas they really think is two main things. Is they feel like quality assurance actually making the course more engaging, and then students recognize that the course itself is much more well organized than the other course they're taking. And of course, there are some other faculty member that are not sure. And the reason they're not sure about the benefit or their impact is because some of the faculty members wanted to participate. They want to design a course for future. They haven't actually implemented it. There's also that criticism, but nothing about the quality assurance. It's really about, for example, like student evaluations. They feel like the student evaluation for their courses actually feel like goes down a little bit. And but in a way that if you remember one of our research associate study talking about the grades A is down, but the course is more rigor. And so, of course, that part I feel probably need more research, but I think it's probably correlated with the results. So at this point, we actually have another faculty research associate. I didn't mention it here, is Dr. James Thompson. He's going to be our 1920, 2019, 2020 faculty research associate. And he's going to be taking some also qualitative study and to do some interview with the students. And now the overall, I want to kind of save some time at the end to answer some questions. So I'll be running this really fast. So overall, to look at the students' impact, if you look at it, it's really 3 years, total 4,452 online hybrid sessions being offered. And the average class size is about 18 students. About 18 of those courses are taught by the faculty who has involved with the quality assurance. Previously, you probably noticed that although we have more than 600 participants, but it's redundant because it's duplicated counts. Some of the faculty member, if they have multiple courses or multiple training sections, then they've been counted multiple times. And so with that in mind, really the quality assurance really affecting 14,400 students count who are taught by those faculty members and or participating, taking the courses that is actually certified course. So before the Q&A, there are a few interesting things about this analysis and the practice. And I would say that there are several observations I also want to share with you. The first one is really we see more and more faculty members start questioning the face-to-face course delivery. Over the last 5 years, we have emphasized a lot for the online hybrid course quality transformation, right? And so we start having some of the voices from the faculty questioning about the face-to-face, whether or not they have any kind of quality standards and what kind of support or requirement that the face-to-face course design or delivery that they have. And course design, curriculum design is more important. I think this is really important. Is the course design itself and curriculum design is more important than the learning platform. In the past, learning platform, whether or not you use the Blackboard, Webs, the Canvas or Moodle, it's always the first one to be blamed and say, oh, the system is not really working, the system is down, and that's why, the course is bad, or more and more faculty now is open to the possibility to use various different tools. Like, for example, no longer just the discussion board. We have faculty members using different third-party tools. They are all integrated with the Blackboard, such as the GoReact, VoiceThread, or Piazza to replace the discussion board. And the accessibility score are getting higher every year. When I say the accessibility score is the tool that we purchased that integrated with our learning management system is the LI. The LI tool actually provide an institutional score, the total average score. When we first started, ranged from 0, the lowest, to the 100, which is the highest. And so when we first implementing the LI tool, the average campus-wide score is about 50-ish, 40, high 40, 50. But now, with all those different emphasis, the trainings, the reaching out to the faculty, we're now at close to the 80%, and so that's very encouraging. We're still working on it, working very hard on it. And we also see another observation is that we also see some other institutions, especially our sister campuses, start hiring more instructional designers. And I want to mention that that there's a start differentiating between the duty and the task between the instructional designer and the learning management system admins. Previously, I think a lot of institutions sometimes they kind of do both. They insert instructional designer, insert tickets, troubleshooting. But for our campus, our designers actually do the instructional design and not really answering any tickets. The tickets are answered by our learning management system admins, administrators. So those are the observations and what we have learned over the years, and we're happy to share this with the community. And so I guess I end this probably about 7 minutes, 3 minutes early, because I want to leave some time for answer some of the questions. Could you please the name of the tool you mentioned in the chat? Was the so the question coming from Penny. So the tool, let me see if I can type it in there. So the tool's name is Ally, Ally, and it's part of the Blackboard tool, but it's independent. You can actually purchase the Ally tool and integrate it with your learning management system like Canvas or Moodle. And yes, work with majority of the learning management system, and one of the alternative format is called beelining. It's Beeline. So this means when the student download it, and certain part of the text will have different color, and to help the student get attention to the content. And it's a wonderful tool, and it's something that we just feel like it's help with our accessibility effort because that's something that's really, really important. Yes. Uh, well, I take that back. For our institution, because we use the Blackboard, so it's deeper integration, and so I think it might have to be the API. But I think for the Canvas and the Moodle, don't quote me on it. I think it might be the LTI. It might be the LTI. I'm not positive on that, but I think it is LTI.
Enoch just shared a document about it as well.
Is it LTI?
Not sure if it was answering the LTI
Yeah,
question.
it didn't say LTI, but it's compatible. So yes, and Julia, you're right. And we actually have that integrated within our staging environment, production environment. So every time we have to actually make sure that the our staging environment, they test it first and then they come to our production. So I'm happy to answer any other question related to the data analysis or anything online related. I'm happy to answer it.
Roger, there was a question earlier about sharing that looks like that large data set that you had plus the original document.
Oh, for the slides, I can share. But as far as the data, I probably won't be able to share because that's our institutional data. But I can share some samples. Like for example, I can actually get the headers, like different fields for you. Would that be okay? I can just give you the fields, like which the columns for each column, what field that we use.
I can't remember who asked that question, so I don't know if they'll answer. But
It's on the
that sounds good.
Q&A.
It was in the chat. I'm just
Oh,
scrolling all the way back up to see who that was.
okay. Yeah,
But
I
that,
think
that other document, the Google Doc that you shared initially, is that something that you can share
oh,
out?
yeah. Yeah, the other Google Doc I share is the policy that is really in the public domain. So it's our faculty centered documentation. So it's also the link in my slide. So once I think once I don't know the way Quality Matters share the recording. Is that just the video or also the slide deck? Gene, do
We,
you know?
we'll put that in. We share it via our YouTube channel, so we'll just in the intro we'll put the once I get that URL from you, then I can have our team put that in the comments so that they'll see it.
Okay, that sounds great.
There's actually a question from Darla in the actual Q&A. I find the information about the importance of design over LMS platform. What is the significance of the design in the equation?
That's a very good question, really, because if you notice, all my presentations start from the beginning. It's all about the whole infrastructure, I would say, and that whole infrastructure has a lot of different components, and not just about the shared governance, not just about the support, not just about the training, not just about the system downtime, uptime. Everything is important, right? But the whole transformation grain that actually is the significant part of our operation, is the one that actually produce all the certified courses and then give us all the different training participants. And part of that online hybrid transformation grant is that every faculty members in participated in the grant, they've been assigned to one of our e-learning specialists, instructional designers. And so the instructional designer actually work with them, as the project management team, but also provide the design services and also provide even the building the courses for the faculty member in some cases. And so that itself actually it make the faculty start understanding about how important that is as far as the design and then how the impact to the students' learning. And as far as the learning management system platform, I mean, we started out with self-hosting environment, managing hosting, and then to the SaaS environment. And so for now, really, the system is up. Once the really, when the faculty complain the most is whether or not the system goes down or not go down, right? But once the system is all stable, and really it's about students learning. And so that's why I think the importance of the design over the learning management platform. That's my take, but based on our experience. And I hope that answers your question. And let me know. You can type another one or follow up. The next question I see in the Q&A is, would you share more on the student experience on using other tools such as the VoiceThread or Piazza over the discussion board? And I think the overall anecdotally, faculty feel that the students, it's just like the Kevin study is students feel more engaging. And that's really the purpose. For the online courses, hybrid courses, it's really engagement is the key. And a lot of times, some of the accreditation agency would ask whether or not you have the same equivalent seat time or engagement time for the online. So engagement is really important. So really, and we recently just purchased another tool. It's called Go React, and that's another tool that we're going to see probably more and more faculty members using it for the engagements. So I think we only have 1 minute.
Yeah, just give you that warning.
So thank you very much for all of you who participated and listened. And again, I really appreciate your time. And if you have any feedback at all, my email is on the screen. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Roger. I did get a little housekeeping issue as well. If people are leaving to go to another session, there is a session that's going to be here in 5 minutes. If you're going to another session, you might actually have to log out of Zoom in order to click on the URL to log back into a different session. Otherwise, you are welcome to relax here for 5 minutes for the next session. So thank you again, Roger, and we will see you very shortly.
Thank you, Jim. Bye.
Bye. I'm going to unpromote you. Where did Roger go? You are welcome to stay here or go somewhere else. Change your role to attendee. And now I need to find Mary Ellen.